Hey everybody, and welcome to our very first Monday Mojo call. Woohoo! I'm excited that tonight we are joined by our very first special guest, Amanda. And just so you all know kind of what we're doing with this call, in the beginning we'll I'll go ahead and introduce Amanda, and then she's going to share some of her story of just how she got to the place where she is with her fitness. I know for just laying groundwork, one of the most inspirational things that we can do is look at other people who have been successful in whatever direction we want to go in and stick close to them and hear their stories and ask them questions. So my intention for tonight's call is just to get a big shot of mojo for the week so that we can be ready and we can push really hard for this week. So Amanda, thank you so much for joining us for this call. Yeah, I know we have people from your team and people from my team, and even others are going to be joining us on the call. Amanda is a nurse, registered nurse, labor and delivery, and she's been that for 9 years. I hope I don't step on your toes or say something wrong.
No.
And Amanda's been a Beachbody coach for about 2 years now. She used to be into cheerleading coach, and she's done several different Beachbody programs: Turbofire, PiYo, 21 Day Fix, 21 Day Fix Extreme, and Body Beast. So she is here to share a bit of her story and just kind of give us some insight into how she fit it all in within a busy life and having a routine and how she stayed motivated. So I'm going to pass it off to you, Amanda.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Michael. I really want to thank you for having me, and thank you everybody else for tuning in. Today was a super fun day for everybody in Beachbody. We got a new size program, sneak peek release, so I know some of you guys saw some of that crazy dancing all over. Yay! So that was a really good time. Also, Autumn released her 21 Day Fix. She announced that she's coming out with a cookbook, so that was good too. So all kinds of good things happening today. It's a Monday, it's the first day of the month, so let's go. Here's some mojo. So I'm going to tell you just a little bit about how I got into Beachbody, how I got into their programs, and kind of where I'm coming from here. I'm going to back it up to about December of 2012, January 2013. I was at my heaviest weight then, probably about 165, almost 170 for me. I'm about 5'5", so that was more than I wanted to be at, more than I felt healthy at. So, I noticed in my Christmas pictures with my family, I was uncomfortable. I didn't like the way I was looking. I knew I needed to make a change. I was tired. I wasn't feeling good. So all of that stuff together just made me want to do something different. Like Michael said, I have a strong athletic background. I was a cheerleader. I played softball. So I was no stranger to the gym. I just really didn't know how to put it all together and make it work now that I was an adult and had a job, and you weren't forced to go to practice all of the time. So I tried a couple different things. I went to a couple different gyms, boot camp classes, different group exercise classes. I even did a personal trainer, and I just never really fell in love with anything. I kind of went from thing to thing, just never really stuck to anything. When June 2013 came a little bit closer, I started to freak out because my wedding was coming up in September, and I was just did not want to be uncomfortable in my wedding dress. It was a big day. There's lots of pictures, and I didn't want to look back on that time and think that I hadn't given it my all and that I left something on the table. So I knew I needed to find something. It was about that time that I found one of my friends from high school. Her name is Beth. She's my coach now. She was running a challenge group on Facebook for Turbofire, and she was posting videos, and I thought, my God, that looks like so much fun. It looks just like cheerleading when I used to cheer. So I messaged her and asked her about it, and she got me plugged into a challenge group with Turbofire and Shakeology, and I absolutely fell in love. It was the first time I was doing cardio, no less, and I absolutely had a blast with it. The music was great. The trainer is great. You can't get much better than Shalene. And I just adored what I was doing. I had finally found my soulmate workout and something that truly was going to work for me. When I started this challenge, I was working night shift as a nurse. I was working at 2 different hospitals. So I was working between about 35 to 50 hours a week, sometimes even. So that was rough. Plus I was planning a wedding. So I had to really make my fitness and my health a priority. I had to figure out how to fit it in and make it work because it was important to me. So my first tip is that if you want to make your health a priority, you have to make it a priority. Sit down, look at everything that's on the table, look at everything that's on your calendar, and cut out the fluff. I was a compulsive cleaner. My friends will tell you I was always cleaning my house and always, was busy doing this and doing that. Everybody's busy. Everybody is super busy. You just have to find what you can let go for a little while if you want this to work for you. You're going to be in your 50s or 60s someday, and if you're unhealthy, you're going to look back and be like, you know what? The dishes that were in the sink for 2 more days didn't really matter because now I have this disease and this disease because I didn't make my health a priority. So you have to understand how important that is. I learned that I had to do my workouts first thing in the morning or first thing when I woke up when I was working night shift, because if I left it till the end of the day or when I got home from work, it didn't get done. So you have to find your sweet spot of when you can work out and when you can fit it in. And you have to stick to it. So that meant I had to get up super early. I probably didn't get as much sleep as I should have, but that's a work in progress. So getting up early means going to bed early. So I missed some TV shows. I don't really watch TV so much anymore because I have different priorities in my life right now. And maybe TV is not what you cut out. Maybe you cut something else out. But you have to figure it out. And usually as soon as I got it figured out, my schedule would change at work. I would go from day shift to night shift and vice versa. I went from working 3 12-hour shifts to 4 or 5 8-hour shifts. And so it was always changing. So you just have to constantly be able to, roll with the punches and just do the best that you can. When I looked at the Turbofire workout schedule, the thing that I liked about it was that some of the workouts were shorter than others. So I was able to really kind of move them around a little bit just to make it work for me. I took my rest day on my 3rd 12-hour shift day, so I knew I could sleep in a little bit that day. So, as you have to follow a schedule, but it doesn't have to be set in stone either. You have to find a way to make it work for you. You also have to have a routine. How many of you guys are guilty? And I know I was super guilty of this. Not grocery shopping until the only thing you have left in your house is a box of mac and cheese. And you can't make mac and cheese for dinner because you don't have milk to make it with. So you end up eating like toast and peanut butter or something. That's when you go through the drive-through. That's when you get caught up in that being unprepared. So you really want to make sure that you get a routine down for shopping and meal prepping. And as you do it, the more you do it, the easier it gets. Pick a day to do your shopping. Pick a day to do your meal prep. It doesn't have to be the same day. It should probably be one shortly after the other so your food doesn't go bad, but make it fun. I still don't love meal prepping, but I'm getting better at it. It used to take me probably 6 hours. Now it takes me like 2 or 3. 21-day fix really has helped me a lot with that. I'm learning more about what I can eat, how much I can buy for how many days, when I'll have to go shopping again because my food will go bad. Like we used to throw out a lot of food. And now that I've gotten into a groove, it's gotten way easier. And crock pots are a lifesaver too. So love your crock pot. Once you figure out a workout routine and a meal prep routine, you have to find the motivation to get up every day and just do it. You have to find the motivation to stick to a plan. And that's where your why comes in. I want you to stop for a minute and think about when you realized that you needed to make that change. When did you realize that you didn't like how you were feeling? You knew that you couldn't go on how you were any longer. What were you doing? Where were you at? What were you doing in that moment? And really think about it. Was it something somebody said to you? Maybe it was something your kid said to you or your kid did. Maybe they grabbed a pop out of the fridge and said, I want to be like mommy. Like what stopped you in your tracks and made you think, I need to change? You need to remember that. You need to write it down and you need to refer to it often, because that's going to be your biggest motivator to get you through your journey for sure. So make sure you write it down, because it's hard. It's not easy to be, into your health and into your fitness. And yes, it gets easier, but it's still hard. It's still hard for me every day. Every day I struggle. But when you remember your why, it really makes it worthwhile and it makes it a lot easier. Sometimes when you make good changes in your life, some people who are close to you have a hard time with that. So your why can keep you going through that. Sometimes the opinions of others are the hardest part about this. When people don't agree with what you're doing, or people, they think that they're being helpful, but they say things to you that, aren't frankly very nice. Sometimes that alone can be harder than any sugar craving or any burpee in the 28th minute of your workout. So you really have to hone into that why and why you're doing this and why you want to make that change. Sometimes, like I said, it's just your why. You have to focus on that and let that carry you through no matter what. Your why is what's going to get you through your 4:30 a.m. wake up call on your alarm clock. It's going to get you through that chocolate craving, and it's going to get you through that feeling like you need to have a beer on a Tuesday night. Why are you trying to get healthy? The key things that I want to leave you with tonight is, and obviously we'll go into questions and answers and stuff, but the key things that I want to tell you is believe in yourself. You're strong enough. You're good enough. You can do this. You just have to get started. It does get easier, I promise. Find a good support system, people who are going to cheer you on and really root for you and help you reach your goals. Find people who are going to build you up. And last but not least, if you haven't found your soulmate workout yet, keep looking. Please keep looking. Working out, I never in a million years would I have dreamed that I would have loved something so much. Even when I used to practice at cheerleading, it was like, I'm going to get sweaty. I'm not going to feel great, but working out is awesome. Being healthy is awesome. You just feel amazing. You can set such a good example for everybody around you. And if you haven't found something that you love, keep looking. It could be in a gym, it could be an at-home program, it could be, anything, but find something that's going to make you happy and don't ever give up. So I guess I went through that a little bit quicker, Michael, but that was pretty much the bulk of what I had.
That is absolutely perfect. I don't know about anybody else, but I was taking notes about what you said. There was so many incredible nuggets, and I related a lot to that as well. And there was just some really, really great perspective. Right now we have some time that we can do some Q&A, and I'm wondering maybe as people are thinking about what questions they might have for you, I think you have some before and after pictures that you could share. And we could see some work.
Let me get my screen here. All right, so these are my Turbofire results. So this was actually, the left picture was actually January or February of that year that I was talking about. Little did I know I would be sharing this picture and putting it all over my business cards. So, but then this one was just towards the end of Turbofire. So, I mean, my nutrition was on point. That was probably the best abs I've ever had, but good there.
And that is, 3 months or 2 months?
Turbofire is a 90-day. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And then this is through 65 days of Body Beast. I was bad and I didn't take my pictures at the very end, but I did, let's see. So I lost 5 pounds and some inches and stuff, gained some in my arms, but for any women who are scared of Body Beast, don't be. It's awesome. It's amazing. If you don't like cardio, this program is for you. So it's an awesome program.
Yeah, I was thinking, I'll kind of start us off with some questions. I know your first program was Turbofire, which is dance cardio, and then now you're doing Body Beast. I'm curious to know, like, what led you in that direction? You know, are you a cardio junkie, or were you just trying to change?
No, I hate cardio. I'm just going to put it out there. So that's why I was so in love with Turbofire, because it didn't feel like cardio to me, because you were so focused on trying to get the moves down. It was like, what the heck, you know? So, but it was still a good workout because you're moving for like 40 to 50 minutes, you know? And then by the time you learn the moves, you're just having so much fun with the music that you're not even, you know, realizing it. So yeah, I mean, I tried T25. Sorry, Shanti. I've tried a couple other cardio programs, and I just, nothing stuck as much. Although size might be a different story because of the music and the dancing. So.
Awesome. What questions do you guys have? What comments? Did anything stick out to you? Feel free to unmute yourself when you have
Okay. I'm like fitness dude.
Oh no, did I lose you guys?
No, let's see you. I think we might have lost one person.
Okay. Let's see.
I told the manager for the call. At this point in the call, just be prepared for silence.
Yeah.
Do you ever jump between different programs at all?
Yeah, actually, I kind of have jumped around a lot, actually. So I completed a full round of Turbofire, a full round of PiYo, and then both 21-day fixed programs. But I've done a lot of stuff in between. I did Body Beast as well, but I'm sometimes bad about starting one and then jumping to another one. But, you know, if you really want those good, you know, program results, it's really good to stick from beginning to end of one program with the meal plan. So it's the best way.
Yeah. And sometimes it's hard. We're like little fitness grasshoppers. We want to try this. We want to try that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. I'm in week 2 of my second round of Turbofire right now. And I did guys this morning when it came out, and I'll probably do it in July when it comes out again. So it's hard to stick to one. Anybody else?
She covered it all.
Yay!
You did a great job.
So motivated. Yeah, how did Amanda do?
You did great.
Good.
Really
Thank
good.
you.
It was great.
I like your pictures. Those are amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, Michael?
Yeah, go ahead.
Amanda, hi, this is Colleen. I was wondering, how did you manage the eating on your crazy schedule? Because I sometimes feel that's really hard for me.
I had to definitely prep everything. You know, you have to be prepped. Shakeology was huge for me, huge. And sometimes I even did it twice a day. I was on a computer project at work, and we were doing a lot of meetings all day long, you know, lunch meetings. And it's super hard to eat a salad when you're in a lunch meeting. It's like, who wants to watch that? Right. So I take an extra Shakeology with me. Sometimes my timing wasn't the greatest. You know, as far as like how long I went without eating, you know, anybody who's a nurse or anything like that, you can kind of relate that it's hard to plan what times you're going to eat your meals. So I wasn't always on point with that. But definitely, you know, pack your lunch, Shakeology, or have a meal replacement shake, because that is something easy, simple you can take with you. And I also like to bring like almond vegetables, stuff like that, so that it's easy to grab and go. When I was working nights, I generally did my food schedule. Like I would get up at about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon and then have my breakfast, which was hard because then I'd be making dinner for my husband. So I would have my breakfast and then bring my stuff for the night. And then I would pretty much eat all night long. So I ended up, when I was working 3 nights and then off for a couple nights, you'd have to like flip-flop your schedule. So it was tough, but I just, counting calories worked, 21-day fixed containers worked a little bit. You just have to kind of play around and see what works for you too. So, and definitely just prepare, because if I didn't have enough food with me on a night shift, I would go through, the drive-through in the morning. It was like my worst enemy. So.
Thanks. I appreciate that, because I think that's always been something that's hard for me, and I'm working on it because I just did 21-day fix and it's helping a lot. But like you said, if you don't plan well enough, then that's when you hit the rough spots. So
yeah. Well, one of the things too that really works well for me is I'm not a cook. I'm not great at cooking by any means, and I'm hoping to get better with that. But with 21-day fix, it was really nice for me because I could take my produce and like portion it out just plain, like plain strawberries, plain veggies, plain, just a little cup of rice. Like everything was plain. So I didn't really have to like come up with different concoctions and spend the time. And then it was super easy because I would just open my fridge and I'm like, okay, green, yellow, red, let's go, throw in a bag, leave.
Right.
I didn't have to cook anything. So I'm super excited for her cookbook that's coming out because that's going to help a lot of people. And it takes the brain work out of it when you just don't have any more to give in that area. So, but yeah, I'm a pretty boring eater.
Okay, me too. So that's good to know.
It's okay if it works for you.
Yeah, I'm one of those people who could just eat the same thing every day and I'd be,
Me too.
yeah. So
For sure.
Thanks for being on today.
Yeah, thanks for coming on too.
Well, great. Well, we're going to wrap this up now. I want to just add my thanks as well to Amanda. Thank you so much for being our very first guest on Monday Mojo. It was fantastic. I loved everything that you shared. It was really, really motivating. And I don't know about everybody else, but when I just see face-to-face somebody else who is making it work in the midst of a really busy schedule and actually saw results, like that's the most inspiring thing. So thank you for just being so real and honest and sharing your journey and some great tips there. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and we will I'll post the recording and the invitations, and people can share this with whomever they like. And I know right now, actually I'll stop the recording.